Welcome back, everybody. Couples coverage is still a thing. Babe, we're back.
We're back. Is that your intro?
Yeah, this is it. Couples coverage, episode 36.
You always introduce me.
Oh, is my fiance.
Yeah.
I just called you babe.
Well, I feel like the setup for this took forever because we just completely forgot how to do everything.
I mean, it's been over almost a month?
I'm pretty sure it's been longer than a month.
We're sorry. But we've been busy. We have been busy, to be completely honest. We've been
To be completely honest.
We've been traveling. We've been going everywhere.
We're going to get into all of it.
Yeah.
But is that the intro? Is that how we're going to do it?
I think so. We just got to keep it genuine.
Okay. Just
and
keep it rolling.
authentic.
True.
But you are my beautiful fiance.
Thank you.
Where's your ring at? Right there. Well, let's get right into this then, because I feel like we've only delayed this only a month, and we can't delay it any further. But first, we got to tell everybody to subscribe to the podcast. Couples coverage, it's still a thing.
Do you guys remember us?
Yeah, we're on YouTube. if you don't remember, at Couples Coverage on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, and podcasts. I always say iTunes. It's been a while. But yeah. Apple Podcasts, you can find us at Couples Coverage, social media, Instagram, TikTok, same handle,
all
Couples Coverage, all the things. All the same things. But
how do you feel right now?
I feel like it's not like the first day, because obviously we've done 35 episodes before, but I think it'll take a little bit of time to kind of get back into the swing of things and hopefully continue the podcast here.
Isn't it crazy how it really only has been a month, which can, I guess in certain situations, a month could be a long time, but also not very long at all. And how just in that short amount of time, we already kind of forgot how to do everything. Setting up the camera, the lighting, we're like, wait, what? What do we do?
That's true, but then we had to readjust the microphones, and because I accidentally unplugged this one, and then we got through it really quickly. So it takes time, but then you're like, oh, I remember how to do this. We've done this before. So we're good to go.
I'm excited
because you have your rundowns of how we structure our podcast, and like I said, we have a lot to talk about.
This one was easy to structure because there has been so much that's gone on, so it's almost just where do we start, because there's a lot.
Yeah, and where should we start this? Where's the best place to kind of, because again, we're gonna recap it, where we've been, what we've been up to, why we haven't been doing the podcast. But there's got to be a natural point to start everything. So
I guess the natural point to start, or the natural place to start, would be where we kind of left off. And since the last time we did the podcast, I think we did even mention we have some stuff coming up. It's going to be very busy. And I don't think we thought we wouldn't be able to record. And not that we weren't able to, but we just got caught up in all the stuff that's been going on. So so basically I'm
looking at some of our old our last episode, 5-year anniversary, Love Island.
That was the last episode we did.
Hard Knocks debut. It was a month ago. Let's see what day it was.
Feels like forever ago.
August 8th.
So it's been
September
over. I told
25th.
you it's been way over a month.
We are so sorry. I'm sorry for derailing you, but I just had to see
when the
last day was.
I told you it's been longer than a month. No wonder. See, that's actually a long time.
It is a long time.
So we were not in a few weddings, but we've had a few weddings since then. So
not
I guess
us, not us personally. We haven't had a few weddings. But we've been, we've been to a couple weddings.
Actually, which is funny because didn't something happen that night where people were like, "Oh, how many weddings do you plan on having?" Because we were saying we have some weddings coming up, or
at your
first of many weddings. Or something
I said the first of many weddings, and people were. I posted a picture of us, and people on Twitter were like, "Oh, do you plan on having more than one wedding, or what's?" I'm like.
I was kind of annoyed because people were like, "That's right, Nick. You're gonna upgrade to a newer, whatever, hotter wife every something." I'm like,
idiots.
We're
but
so annoying.
It's the internet.
Anyways.
Yes.
So you actually, so my cousin that I've been wanting you to meet for so long, her name's Jeanette, and she got married about a month ago, I want to say now.
Yeah,
it's
probably
been hard
a little
to tell.
less.
It's probably a little less, but we had that wedding, and it was the first time that you met a big part of my dad's family, of my dad's side, which we're going on. Well, we're 5 years in now, and that's just family that we don't really see that often. It's always like so fun to get together with them, but it really doesn't happen that often. And we were saying, you know, now that we're older and people are starting to get houses and we can like throw our own parties and our own things to do, like the cousins can get together a lot more often, even if like our parents don't see each other as much. So I was just really excited for you to meet them, and it was so fun to like be able to go and celebrate with them. And yeah, that was like the first one.
That was the first wedding. It was in Wisconsin, like on the lake, and you know, really nice just venue, the cocktail party, and you know, just the entire wedding was really really nice. And then obviously meeting, you know, your dad's side of the family and being a part of that.
Cool. Like I guess I want to sometimes like see it from your perspective, because when I first met your dad's brothers and like his side, it's like, oh yeah, like I see it, and I'm like, from your perspective, like,
yeah, your brothers, like or your dad's brothers look, I mean, they all look alike.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
There's so many of them. I think I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but my dad is one of 13 kids, so his family is so big. And I do really, really wish, and I know that we will probably see them a lot more often now. But yeah, it was cool to have you meet them and also see them for me, because it's been years since I've seen some of my cousins.
And it was cool just to see you kind of reconnecting with your cousins and family members that you hadn't seen for a while. And it's like those friends that you have that you don't see, but you know you're always going to be like close. I just feel like that's how, you know, certain family members can be when you don't see them very often, but when you do get together, hey, let's just pick up back when, you know, when we were like younger, what we used to do, talk about those things. Like, it was cool seeing you kind of reconnect with your family.
It was very, I don't know if healing is like the right word, but it was so cool to see us all as adults. And it's like, I know I've said it there too, but it's like so cool to be there, like I said, as an adult, where you're not hiding behind our parents. Because when we did see each other, I feel like for the most part, or maybe I'm speaking for myself, it was almost like I was too shy to like actually like talk to my cousins and connect with my cousins. So now that we're adults, it's like, hey, like we grew up seeing each other, living together. I lived with a lot of my cousins when I was younger. So it's cool that we all have like our own lives and we're adults and we can actually connect on like a deeper level now. And it felt very, I guess the word is healing. I was so happy that night.
You were very happy. And, you know, you say connect at a deeper level, but you guys were also like, I don't want to say like kids, but you guys all made the TikTok of you. How many drinks? Remember, like the drinks that you guys all like. It was this funny TikTok video that all the cousins, your family were like in.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you're talking about all these deep things, family, what you've been up to, and then
but also having fun.
Also having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool. Really good experience. People were killing it on the dance floor, and I'm blanking on his name, but like sweated through his suit jacket.
Oh, really? I don't know.
Oh, but I mean, that's how you know people are like getting down and just having a really fun time. So yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, it's so fun. And I know there's another one coming up, and I'm so sad. Not another wedding, but another event where we're all getting together, I think, for the most part. And I'm sad you're not going to be there for it.
Oh, yeah, that's football.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been through this whole entire, I mean, weddings. And then the season starting. That's why things got really, really busy.
Yeah. So that was the first one. Super, super fun. And literally the next weekend we had another wedding. Back to back, where we had to travel to go to Boston. And this one we were actually in. And this is the second wedding that we were both in.
Yeah, second wedding. And like you said, we traveled to Boston for this one. And even my parents ended up going to a college friend of mine who went to school out in the Boston area. marrying obviously, our good friend Gabby, but Jimmy and Gabby's wedding, and what I forget, it's not technically Boston, but in that area. So
now I'm forgetting the name of the actual like city that we were in, but anyways, general area. It was like Boston. We had to fly there, and that was also really cool. To like, I don't know, it's so crazy to see your friends get married. It's so crazy because, like you said, we're friends with both of them. Like, this isn't our friend group, so it's just very interesting to like see our friends like growing literally in front of our eyes.
They are, yeah. It's obviously a big moment, but I know obviously when the girl, I feel like it's also a different experience for the girls and guys on like the wedding day. And obviously, we'll have our day, but just like from our vantage point, like we're out there, we were, taking these funny pictures of the photographer and kind of just hanging out. You girls are getting ready. And I feel like it's a little bit more, is it more stressful for like the bride, just, I don't know. There's a lot that she was probably thinking about, and
I feel like it could be stressful for both sides, but I don't really remember if you told me what the guys did all day leading up to it.
What did we do? I'm trying to think.
Didn't you guys want to go play basketball or something?
Oh, no. We just ended up going to go get breakfast.
Oh.
We got breakfast at a coffee shop that literally had the worst coffee. it's like advertised as a coffee shop, and everybody got coffee, and everybody took the sip of their coffee. It didn't matter what it was. It was the crappiest cup of coffee. Like what in the movie Elf, I'm pretty sure, like
the world's greatest cup of coffee.
Yeah, no, it was really crappy, but the sandwiches were delicious that we had, breakfast sandwiches or whatever they were.
So very chill. Can I ask you this? Like, did you feel like Jimmy was like in any way nervous or in his head, or was he just kind of like in the moment hanging out with you guys?
No, I don't think so. I mean, even when after we went to go get breakfast, some of us met up in one of the hotel rooms to kind of get changed, and we were like helping each other with like our ties and everything. But even then, Jimmy seemed composed. I know he had to run around and do a couple of things, but he didn't seem like he was stressed out about the stuff. And we were just kind of all hanging out, so I think he handled it pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for the guys, I do always picture it being a lot more like chill.
Laid back a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit more laid back. I know even for us when we were, spoiler alert, touring venues, one of the people that was giving us a tour, it's like, okay, like the guys can go hang out and have fun because it takes you guys 10 minutes to get ready. Or he said even less than that. He's like, it'll take you 5 minutes to put on your suit and you're good to go.
It will, yeah.
So it for sure is a longer process for the bride, but also really fun because we get to spend the whole morning together.
Didn't you have mimosas too? Like,
there were mimosas, but I really didn't have a single one that day. I don't even think she had one. Yeah,
I know. If we had mimosas or whatever, we would have drank them all.
You guys didn't have any drinks? Not even like a little like shot to celebrate? Nothing?
We did have so when we were kind of getting ready, we all took a swig of some whiskey or something like that, but not like it was like a thing, but someone brought a bottle and kind of each had a swig, and that was it.
Yeah. So for us, yeah, for sure, a lot more, I don't know, it was really fun also, like just getting to like be there with all her closest people and her mom and seeing that side of it too. Yeah. But yeah, no, it was beautiful. They got the most perfect day. Their location was so cute. And then also it was just fun being able to like experience that with you. Like I said, it's our second wedding that we're both in together. So we got to like walk down together.
Yeah. And it was funny. Like I think whoever was there, like, oh, don't take like photos or whatever, trying to be in the moment. And there's my dad in the back who has like his phone, and he's trying to be he's trying to be like slick with it, like this.
No, he wasn't. It was
funny. Sure?
No, because I remember he was getting ready, because your dad's a big picture guy.
Huge
so
picture guy.
like right before the ceremony started, he was already like this. You see your dad like in the back, like phone ready, and then the person who's kind of like coordinating, he's like, and just to let everyone know, the bride and groom want to have like a no phone ceremony.
Yeah.
And like I just see him like,
man, he was over here like this.
No,
clicking the photo.
Was he really?
I don't know. It kind of looked like it was.
Gosh,
like,
I don't think so, but
yeah. So we got to walk down together, and seeing Jim, or hearing Jimmy and seeing him read his vows, like, you got me. Like, I was up there, and like I had a tear fall down my cheek. I'm like, that was good writing there, Jimmy. I was really proud of him.
Aww.
It was really well thought, and it obviously came from the heart. So it was really, I was just proud to kind of hear that from him. So that was cool.
Well, like, okay, so this podcast or this episode really is mostly about weddings, because that's just kind of what our month has been all about. Yeah. And so we did want to talk a little bit about like our favorite parts, or like what kind of stands out to us. And for me, I remember mentioning to you that it's like, to me, I love watching the ceremony. Like, I love watching it happen. Like, two people getting married, that's so beautiful. And the fact that everyone's there, and it really is like celebrating two people's love. I just think that is so cute.
No, I mean, it's definitely a beautiful moment. Both weddings that we went to.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, and that we were kind of talking about like what our favorite moments were before we obviously jumped on here, and I had a feeling that you would definitely choose like the ceremony and seeing it all happen.
Hearing like people's vows to each other. I just feel like there's literally nothing more beautiful than that. Like saying your vows in front of everyone that you love, and like sharing that to your partner. I don't know, the whole thing is
what about
so
seeing obviously the bride and like her dad walking down the
Oh yeah, that always makes me cry.
Yeah,
that always makes me cry, because that's like a moment that I've always looked forward to. So like I just can't wait for that, and that will always make me emotional. Like a father-daughter dance, or like a dad walking his daughter down the aisle. Like, to me, that's just so, it'll always get me.
I remember when seeing Jimmy and his mom dancing the son-daughter dance. I'm like, I go to my mom, you ready for that? You ready to do that? And she's like, she kind of rolls her eyes at me a little bit, but she'll choke. I know when
do you think so?
I think so. She likes to put on, like a front for a little bit, but yeah, if it'll get me, then it'll get her.
I feel like it's so funny that in every relationship, there's always one that's the crier, right? And I feel like in your relationship, or like our relationship, obviously it's me.
Oh yeah.
But in your parents, I feel like it's your. Actually, I don't feel like either of them are criers, but I feel like your dad is more like emotional. Right?
I would say so. Yeah.
Like, he's more sentimental.
Yeah. That makes sense. I would agree with that.
So I think when it comes to our wedding, I feel like your dad's gonna be very sentimental.
Or taking pictures, either one.
You think so?
Taking pictures, always crying. No. So I think my favorite part, and obviously I like the ceremony as well, but I really do like the celebration of everybody, whether it's being on the dance floor, the cocktail, but like you're there obviously for the two individuals, but like even at Jimmy and Gabby's wedding, like the DJ was playing some hits. I know we were like, wonder what the music vibe's gonna be like, but they did a great job and kept everybody on the dance floor and bringing people from like different, I don't know, like parts of each family together to be on the dance floor. So that's always a great time, and people, it doesn't matter how well or how bad you are at dancing, like I'll get together and just have a really good time. So I do enjoy that part about weddings that I've been to, that we just were recently at, like getting up on the dance floor and just having a good time.
Yeah. I forgot where I saw this. It's probably just like a TikTok thing, but it says like your wedding is one of the only times in your life where like both of us will have all the people that we love in one room. Because it doesn't always happen that way. It's like whether there's like a a party on your side or a party on my side, but like our wedding's the only time you're gonna have both sides, everyone you love, all in one room.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. And that's why, like, when it is your day or our day, like, honestly, whoever is there, I mean, that's all that really matters. Like, you got the people there, you celebrate them, and that's why, like, maybe for Jimmy, he wasn't very stressed out, knowing that probably, like, this was, like, they got everybody here, and now you just do it. You just do it. Yeah, don't overcomplicate
love
things.
Weddings. I just love them.
Are we done with weddings
We're
the rest
done
of this year?
for this year, yeah. Okay. We already have some for next year, and you know what? Like, it's just the age group that we're in, like, where there's going to be a lot more weddings, and I'm very excited. Like, happily go to any wedding that we're invited to.
Yeah. You give us an invite. We'll see if we can make it. See if it works in the schedule.
Be there. We'll be there.
Yep, no doubt.
So something else that happened after Boston. Oh, speaking of Boston, it was kind of funny that it was kind of like in a little city. We thought we were going to be like in, is it downtown Boston?
Yeah, we thought. I honestly, like, I thought we were going to be in downtown Boston, but I don't even know.
So, like, the one thing we were like, okay, we got to have a lobster roll because we're like big lobster roll people. And we were just not in an area. And also, we were there so quick. Like, it was such a quick trip that we didn't really, like, go anywhere.
Yeah.
So we ended up having a lobster roll in the airport.
We did, yeah. Man, I really want to find where we went, and it's gonna just, I don't know. Like, we should be able. No, see, that's spoiling where we were just at.
Yeah.
I can't find that reservation.
That's all right. But yeah, anyways, so after our friend's wedding, Jim and Gabby's, I want to say a week or 2 weeks later, maybe a week later, we scheduled another trip.
We did.
Very, very quick trip.
Yeah, no, let's just get right into it. So, did we just get, I don't know if it was like the wedding bug, but we knew that we had to make some moves.
Yeah.
We had to make some moves and get on a quick flight to North Carolina. Well, actually, it was a couple. How many flights did we take to get there? We just
two.
took one, right?
2.
To get there.
2.
We took 2?
To get there?
Yeah, where did we fly? I thought didn't we have to drive 2 hours?
Oh, that's right. So just one.
We flew to Raleigh. Did we fly to Raleigh?
Yeah, we did.
Or was it?
No, Raleigh.
Okay.
Is that how you say it?
So
Raleigh.
Yeah, I think it's Raleigh, North Carolina, to go check out some wedding venues. And it was a bit of a process. We had my mom help us out to kind of get flight scheduled, and we had to rent a car.
Our private little travel agent.
Yeah, my mom is the best at just putting me on where I need to go.
Yeah.
Honestly, where do I need to go? What flight am I on now?
But genuinely, it's not because he's incapable. It's because his parents. We've said it. His parents work for the airline, so like they have to like put him on like standby lists to like get to where he needs to go.
And you know what? Actually, time out. Before we got on this plane to Raleigh, North Carolina, remember the old lady that had me go get her a Pepsi or a Coke?
Was that on the way back?
No, that was on the way there.
No, it wasn't.
It was on the way there.
Are you sure?
Yes, I promise.
No, wait. It was on the way back.
No. It was on the way there.
No, do you remember?
We were in Chicago. when that happened. So then we were going on our first flight.
Are you sure?
I
got my smoothie somewhere. I had a smoothie.
That was on the way
remember?
back. That was on the way back to Chicago.
It was very stressful because, like I said, standby flights could either be really easy or it can be like, wow, there's one seat left. Let's see if we make it on.
Well, yeah. Okay, so before we go to Raleigh, North Carolina to get on our flight, to then have to drive to Wilmington where we're actually going to go see a venue, there's this older lady waiting at one of the gates, and she
goes to get in line in her little walker, like sweetest old lady, and then the flight attendant the gate agent was like, whoa, that's not your flight.
You're not supposed to be on this flight. So she goes to go sit down. She's near us, and I don't even know what did she ask? Like,
well, so then we're sitting there, waiting for the next flight, right? Kind of like a stressful thing.
Yeah, because there's like limited seating.
Yeah.
And if we can get on this flight, then we can go, I don't know, we go on another flight, and then we don't have to even rent a car. if we get on this first flight. And that would save us like over $150 or something like that.
Yeah.
So we're like waiting to see if it's going to happen. And as we're waiting, and like they're calling up the groups.
Yeah.
So it's like it's getting close to like seeing if we're going to make it. Old lady, asks me,
can you go get me a Diet Coke?
A Diet Coke. And I'm like, I'm not going to say no to this old lady. She needs this Diet Coke. So
and she hands you literally like cash. She's like, and get yourself something.
Yeah, and I wasn't gonna get myself a Diet. I was going to McDonald's in the airport, and McDonald's always hits in the airport. But I went down that way, and for whatever reason, that McDonald's took forever to give you your Coke and fries. Is that what you got?
Why you call me out?
She got Coke and fries. But I go there. And I'm waiting. And I was about to text you, like, make sure you're, like, just hearing out for our names just in case. But it took a good minute. And
I was stressing out.
Yeah.
I was sitting there, like, with her. I was trying not to make eye contact because I was visibly stressed. I kept looking at my phone, kept trying to check the line. And then I didn't want to make her feel bad. But I was like, oh, my gosh, I need you to, like, hurry up because
I'm like, this old lady, I'm like thinking like this old lady's gonna make me miss this flight,
and she has no idea that this is going on. Like she has no idea situation, so she's sitting there like all cute. She's like, oh, bless him, it would have taken me an hour. I was like, it's gonna take him an hour and we're gonna miss this flight.
When I eventually get up to the register, I'm like, hey, this old lady just asked me to get her a Coke. She can't get it herself. Is like they have the numbering system, so I don't think if I didn't tell her that, I would have had to wait like
for your
5-10 more minutes for number 261 to pop up. And I'm like, I just need the Coke so this old lady doesn't, isn't dehydrated and can get her Diet Coke. And I'm about to miss my flight. And then, so I pay, get the cash, the change back. And then she doesn't immediately give me the Coke. I'm like, crap, she's not going to give it to me. And then she's like, oh, here's your Diet Coke. And I'm like, thank God. So I kind of speed walk back, give it to her, and then I think they're about to like call for us to get on because this one dude was hauling and like with all of his might,
like
trying
we
to make
were
this
so
flight.
Close to getting on. Like this man almost didn't make it, and you know what, like selfishly I was like, please don't make it.
No.
But then this guy comes like running out of breath, and then we don't make it.
Yeah, he was struggling, but he got the last flight on. Well, I think there was one more, but I'm not going to
go without each other, yeah.
So, okay, that maybe took way too long, but we eventually get to the flight to Raleigh, take a 2-hour car drive to Wilmington, North Carolina, stay at a hotel, and then we're seeing this venue at what time? Like
9 in the morning.
9 in the morning. So, what do you remember about seeing venue number 1?
Venue number 1. Okay, so this venue is a venue that I found just online. It's been very hard to find something that I like love and want to keep going back to that's like within our budget, because one thing about weddings is like anything wedding related is very expensive. It's just the truth. Like weddings are expensive. And so it was hard for me to find something that was like, okay, what we wanted, but also what we were willing or what we're willing to pay.
Yeah.
And yeah, we kept going back to this venue. So it was such a spontaneous trip that actually being there, I'm like, oh my gosh, we're actually here. Like, oh my gosh, we're actually going to go see it. I was so nervous. I had butterflies all morning because it's one thing seeing it in pictures, right? But like, what if we took this trip and spent this money to like even be here and then we don't like it? Then what, So I was like hoping that we loved it just as much in person. So yeah, we went. And it was so cute.
it was very, very nice. And like you said, you do see something in pictures, and it looked like the pictures.
It
but
did.
There is just something about being there
and being able to walk through it in person
and see like how big things actually are or how small they are, whatever it is. But yeah, and there's like a slight like drizzle, right? It wasn't bad or anything, but we're there just walking around and seeing it. I think there's like not a wedding party, but there are already people viewing.
Yeah, there was a rehearsal happening,
okay.
Like a wedding rehearsal. So usually do a wedding rehearsal specifically for this venue the day before the wedding. So there was a whole bridal party there running through things, and we didn't get to see it set up because it wasn't set up, but it was cool seeing people there, and they had a big wedding party. So it was like, oh, this is like kind of what it would be like.
Yeah. So we got to see the whole entire venue, inside out, and just kind of visualize, I guess, like what it would look like if, let's say, this would be, the place that we, end up signing the contract to and things like that. But it was a cool experience. Obviously we had never done that before.
It was the first one we saw.
And
I guess before we like even go further, North Carolina is a very random place. Like, we have absolutely no ties to
connections
to North Carolina, and it feels very random, but there's so much that goes into it, and like how we even ended up there, that maybe we can talk about a little bit. Can we make sure this is still recording?
Yeah, I think I just got to sign in, but
okay.
How did we end up there?
Okay, so this is our thought process, right? I'm kind of stubborn, and I didn't want to wait 2 years I didn't want to wait another 2 years to get married. 1 year feels very soon, because 1 year happens very, very quickly. And like I said, weddings are just expensive, and
saving up.
It would give us a little bit more time. So ideally, I would want like a year and a half, right? But because he does football stuff, it takes a big chunk out of the year that we can't do. So just because it would be too busy, it would be too hectic, too busy. I don't want to get married and then he has to go travel for work like the next week. Like, I want to enjoy being married and like going on a honeymoon and things like that. And so from like August until February is like a no. Because
it makes it very
it makes it very tough. And so and then also something else is that I don't want a winter wedding. I've never wanted a winter wedding. I've always pictured myself, and like, I think they're beautiful, like weddings regardless, they're beautiful, but for me and for us, I've never pictured a winter wedding. I've always pictured like a warm place.
I don't think, like, obviously I haven't thought about like my wedding as much as you probably thought about your wedding growing up.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever really envisioned
a winter wedding.
But even though, like, for me, like, growing up, wintertime, oh, it's my birthday. Like, there's all these, like, good, like, I don't think I've ever, though, imagined myself getting married when it's wintertime. I think I've always pictured sunny day or something like that, and, more so what we're kind of looking for.
Right. And so, because February is still, like, freezing here, and March still, sometimes spring break is still also like winter break. It feels like another winter break because it's still sometimes snowing by then. So we figured we'd look somewhere else that has like warm weather.
What do we put? Warm weather states? Like,
we literally type in like warm weather states. And okay, here's another thing. Ideally, something that I would love, and I know we've talked about, is I would love to go get married in Mexico. I was born in Mexico. Proud Mexican, and I would love to go get married. Yeah, I would love to go get married in Mexico. But it makes me a little bit nervous to have everyone travel over there. We have a lot of friends that like I would worry for them because I don't know how they would get around. So I don't know. I just didn't want to worry about that, and also like I wanted all our family to have at least like the opportunity to go.
Yeah.
And we have some family members that just can't. So, we figured like somewhere that everyone could at least travel to if they wanted to go.
Yep.
Give everyone the opportunity. And so, we just honestly like looked through so many different venues and lots of different warm places, lots of different warm states. And this was just one that didn't feel that far away. It was very cute. Like, we went and it was like the cutest little beach town.
Yeah, Wilmington, North Carolina. For me, we've both been to Florida, but it gave me that type of vibe, like some like Florida vibes, but
like
little
beachy,
beach town.
like little beach town.
Yeah.
Something that I also didn't want was to have people just go to like a random place. Like if we're making people travel, I didn't want it to feel like a middle of nowhere type of place. And this one is literally like 5 minutes from the beach, like I said, in a cute little beach town. So if people wanted to, they can make a weekend trip out of it and enjoy, that type of stuff too. So yeah, I think that's how we ended up, if you're wondering, in this area.
Someone asked me that recently. I'm like, I mean, I know we were looking for warm weather places, but yeah, just like a bunch of different places lined up with not only price, but the theme, or
the look
of
feel
it.
of it. Yeah.
So I mean, that's how I would explain to people who ask, like, how'd you end up North Carolina? Like,
it feels very random.
It definitely. I remember too, like saying, "Is this random? North Carolina?"
It is random, but a lot of thought went into it. It wasn't just let's just do there. No, it was like we literally went back and forth so much, and I'm an overthinker, so I just felt like me and my overthinking and all the little like rabbit holes I went down. There's a way to like justify how we ended up there.
For sure. But that was venue number 1. And again, really loved it. We got to, like you said, check out the beach town that was near it and everything. So we got a good idea of what that place was like, what it had to offer, things like that. Then we went to this second venue, and before we actually took that flight to North Carolina, we had called them just to kind of get some information because we saw it kind of last minute and looked really nice, and we were able to talk to the people that own it and run everything there, and we were trying to see if they could fit us into their schedule but also our schedule, because we were taking a flight like pretty
that same day,
like mid-afternoon, so we didn't have much time to look. Especially like flying like the standby, and like and just weather, you never know how this goes. But after we had a good lengthy phone call with them too, them explaining what the venue has, just the vendors, and again, if they could fit us in. And initially they couldn't because they had a wedding that day, but they were able to fit us in, and so we made the drive. It wasn't far from the first.
It was like an hour away.
Yeah, so an hour away from the first location. It was actually closer to South Carolina, or I guess it was technically still in North Carolina, but it was close to South Carolina. So we make the drive over there, and honestly, it was a really beautiful location too.
Yeah, very something like, it's just so fun. It's so fun seeing wedding venues, and this one was different because, like I said, they squeezed us in even though there was a wedding that day. So like there was an actual wedding party there getting ready. Everything was set up, so we got to see this venue actually like all dressed up, and like everything looked so pretty. Like we got to see like where she was gonna walk down the aisle. They had all that set up too.
I mean, the bride
she was literally there with like their hair rolls in her hair, and we're just like, hi, congrats.
Yeah.
But again, like it was just, they were there getting ready for the day, and so I don't really feel like we were in the way or anything, because he was just giving us a tour of the area. And
and the tour, I mean, the guy was very thorough, and like why they set up everything the way they did, and arranged all the seating and everything like that. So it was cool to just see like the behind the scenes of how the wedding day actually works.
Such good people. Like I felt like they took such good care of us there. I would have felt like we were in such great hands, which sounds funny to say.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it also, I think how they treated us and like went through everything put into my head like what our wedding planners should be like, what like everything should be like. That should be like the standard. Yeah, like you should feel like you're one of one. Yeah, like you're the priority. Make sure we get this right, because that's what they did, and they didn't have to do that.
They didn't have to do that, and they gave us tips, and they were so genuine with us. They're like, whether you choose us or not, make sure your people do this for you. And we're like, thank you so much, because like these are things you don't know. You don't like. No. We've never thought about this. We've never gone through this. So it was like really nice. And now, like, even just being able to talk to them, there are things that I've made note of, and like I'm gonna make sure we get.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good point. I think they made it known what again.
It was little things like make sure the people that you hire that set up the wedding for you, like steam your linens.
Oh yeah,
things like that. Little
like that.
things like that. They're like some people don't do that, and it's like such a small detail that makes a big difference in the like way everything looks overall. And so something as simple as that, or like the music that they play during cocktail hour, because sometimes there's no music during cocktail hour, but they're like, this is a little detail that kind of like makes everything feel a little bit more smooth. Like the transitions feel a lot more smoother with like a little bit of like music in the back. I don't know, just things like that where it's like, I'm so glad we got to talk to them, and their venue was so beautiful. But I guess the way we're saying it, you can tell which one we ended up going with.
Yeah, we ended up going with the first venue, and they had sent us a contract. Was it the... So we went to go see it on Friday. We got the contract, was it that Friday or that Saturday?
That same Friday. So the reason we went like so spontaneously or such a quick trip was because they could only save your date for you for 3 days. And then for them to like actually save your date like permanently, you need like to sign the contract and the payments and all that stuff. So we wanted to make sure that we loved it before we signed anything. And them being only able to hold it for 3 days, like the date that we wanted, that's why we had to like hurry up and go see it.
Yeah, and you know, obviously I don't know, do we want to say our date? Like it's
no.
Okay.
But this is big. We have a venue.
Yes,
we
but
have
we
a
signed,
venue.
so I came back. We couldn't sign it that weekend because I was actually in Houston for a game to go cover. So I had to come back that Monday, and that Monday later in the day, we looked over the contract. We sat on the couch. Did you have a glass? Did you have a glass? Did we have a glass of wine?
I think I did have a glass of wine.
I think we both did. We were just looking through it, and you know, initial here, initial there, sign here, and sent it off.
And then that's when it feels so real. Like what? Like actually having a payment go through for a wedding. I'm like, oh my gosh. I actually started getting kind of nervous. I'm like, wait, we really just did that.
We did, and then I didn't tell my parents until
we didn't tell anyone because we didn't want to get swayed in any way or the other. Like we wanted to do what we felt was best and like what we wanted to do, because it is a lot. Like,
look, we can. So look, I know that there's a lot of people that are going to be a part of this, but in the end, it is about what we want.
Yeah.
And if we chose this location because we love it, we know it's going to be a great location for us.
Picture all our family there, though. That makes me so happy. Like,
it's going to be really cool.
Yeah. So we know that traveling for a wedding,
it's expensive.
It can be expensive.
I mean, we were just at 2, and one we had to drive an hour and 30 minutes to. The other one we had to fly to. But like it does cost money, no doubt.
Yeah. But like one of my best friends, when I was kind of like going back and forth, because, you know, like in a perfect world, yes, we could have it here, but we weren't finding really too much that we can like see ourselves in. And again, just like weather wise, the time of the year that worked, a lot of things are just like not really making the most sense. So I don't know. I just feel like I was going back and forth. Like we really did go back and forth a lot. And you weren't here for it, but I was talking to my best friend and she was like, let me call my mom. My mom gives great advice. And hearing it again, like having it like, is it reaffirmed?
Yeah, reaffirm like your decision. Or...
Yeah, because she's like, talking to you, I could already tell you know what you want.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like she was like, I'm talking to you and it's almost like you're just...
you're trying to find reasons to not... Like,
no, not trying to find reasons to not, but like she was like, you already know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. I was trying to find reasons to not. I was giving all the reasons to not. But she was like, but I can tell that's not what you want. And she's like, at the end of the day, you know, it's not like I said, a lot of that truly did go into this. like the time frame that we chose too, it's like not after the holidays. I thought about that. I was like, I don't want this to be immediately after the holidays because that's a tough time for people sometimes.
Also, it's like the perfect time in North Carolina because everything's starting to bloom, and you know it looks beautiful during that time as well. So it's like you're putting a lot of things into consideration, and
yeah,
again, it works good for us, and that's ultimately the most important part.
And it's, like I said, not a year from now, so I feel
Time
like
to save.
it gives people like plenty of time if it's something that they want to like join us for. Like we would would love to have everyone there, and we understand like we're gonna be so understanding. But also like, yeah, you know, we're gonna give people plenty of time, or a big heads up. Obviously, I think that's what Save the Dates are for, right?
Yeah, exactly. So they get that heads up, and they'll know exactly when it is, and knowing that they gotta, you know, maybe have little
and it was nice to hear from like my side too, because my mom, our parents both were like, we're gonna support you guys and like be there wherever you guys want to go. And like I'm always so unsure. Like I'm like, I don't know, are people actually gonna do that for us? Are people gonna travel for us? But like our friends were just with their wedding in Boston. They had people from all over. They had people from London. No, Ireland.
Well,
they had
and London too.
Oh yeah, and London. People from London and Ireland all fly in, and I'm like, yeah, the people who will want to be there will find a way. Yeah, they'll find a way. My friend was like, you know what, like even driving, if people want to do that. My parents were like, we had a little get together not that long ago, and all my aunts and uncles were like, well, we'll just get a big bus and we'll just drive down there. And I think that was also very encouraging to hear that people were willing to like join us wherever we go.
Yeah, it's fun, it's exciting, and we still like we do have some time before
we have some time.
There, but you know, we also learned like I forgot what is it called, the Knot? It's like a website where there's like a to-do or checklist, to-do list, like a certain time period or like time frames during the year. So I'm sure that will start coming up and things will start getting, checked off the list.
For now, we're like, okay, cool. We have a venue. We can relax for a little bit, because that was honestly the most stressful thing, is like saving or finding a date and then a venue and all that stuff. And now it's like, yeah, we have some time. We're okay.
We have some time for sure. And we also have a little bit of time before we talk about the last thing on your rundown here, but you know, I probably should have done this a little earlier, but as you know, for the people who have watched Couples Coverage, you also know we are partnered, and we couldn't do this without OWYN, which stands for Only What You Need. Our protein shakes that are, you know, plant-based, delicious, come in different forms, whether they're powder, the pre-made shakes. You can get meal supplements, all delicious stuff that you can get at OWYN, and they're really good for, you know, an after workout. You have the pre-made ones. I like the 35-gram Elite protein shakes. Those are the best. We just finished the whole like tub. You can also do that, the powdered ones, that you can make your own protein shake with a blender.
Yeah.
I know you really like that one, but
you make that one for me.
I do, or I did when we had the
no,
powder.
We're out.
Now we just, you know, ran out. So have to get that again so you can get those gains. But you can check out OWYN at liveowyn.com, and if you use the promo code COUPLEGOALS, you actually save 15% off your first order. So you just stack your cart up with all the goodies, and then you get 15% off your first order. And just go to liveowyn.com. Couple goals.
Thanks, OWYN.
You're putting on your lip gloss?
Yes.
Actually, I mean, really quickly too. I mean, we also have a little thing going on with SeatGeek as well.
Oh, yes.
So if you're in the market for tickets to really, I mean, you can really use SeatGeek for anything, whether it's games, concerts, comedy shows, football game, whatever. You can use SeatGeek to find some really good prices on all those types of events. I know that I've used it before. My family's used it before. We've definitely used it when going to, you know, for date nights, whatever we're kind of looking into. So you can check out SeatGeek. And that one, you can use the promo code COUPLESCOVERAGE to save, I believe, 20% off your first order, or is it $20 off your first order? How about you just put it in there?
How do you find out?
You find out. Couples coverage at SeatGeek. So that wraps up for the people that pay the bills. Right there. We have one last thing, though, and this is coming up.
This is coming up, and it's also been a process. So, we also went back and forth on whether or not we wanted to have like an engagement party, because at this point it's been 3 months since we got engaged. Which, I mean, that alone also kind of feels like a while ago, right?
Wow, yeah.
No?
I mean, yes, and it does feel like a while, but 3 months is...
It's not, like I said, it's weird. It's like, yeah, that's what I'm saying in the beginning.
In between.
So anyways, we went back and forth on whether or not we wanted to have one. And I forget why we like really decided on doing it, but it's like, you know, like we're only engaged for a short period of time. I know you said that
you want to experience everything.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like when you said that, like, yeah, we got to do an engagement party.
Yeah. So, we're having one.
So that's what we're having an engagement party this Saturday.
It's been kind of a process, and like, again, I wish we can have everyone there. Mm-hmm. But we're just doing it we can't have it here at our apartment. So we have to have it at my parents' house or your parents' house, mm-hmm. which doesn't give us a lot of like room to work with. And so it's going to be a very small party for the most part. Just like close friends, like immediate family.
Yep.
And our parents.
Parents. Well, my dad has obviously met your parents, but my mom has not.
So this is gonna be a big deal, and like that alone has been like,
you're nervous about it.
I am. I am. I'm
excited for it.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited. Well, I know you're excited, but you're not nervous at all.
I don't think I'm not about our parents meeting or my mom meeting your parents. No, I'm more so just.
It's just excited. Also the first time that like our families mix together at a party, like I said. So family, it's just friends, like yeah. I'm just a little bit like nervous, like how is this gonna go? But also on top of that, so we've been getting a lot of stuff together for this. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like crazy how much goes into it. It started off, it's so funny because in the invitation I literally put casual get together, and then here we are adding like more and more things to it. I'm like, yeah, this is not feeling very much like a casual get together anymore, but it still is a small party. I
guess it's still, well,
it is casual, but
yeah, it's more, well, no, it's a get together. Maybe it's still right, but there's a lot that goes into it.
There's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
So, because this is like our first party that we're throwing. You know, we've thrown like Friendsgivings and like let's host a game night and things like that, but never like an official, let me send an invite to a party. And it just feels a little bit funny.
Mm-hmm. Like we sent out the little electronic, I guess they're just like text messages that open up and there's your design popping up there and mm-hmm. saying all the details. So it was, cool. And then we get access to see like who's opened it and who hasn't opened it and like what the response are. So it
was cool, right?
Yeah, it was cool. The only thing though, we're kind of at the mercy of the weather gods here, and like anytime you go on your weather app, I swear it says something different than the day before or even a few hours before. There is supposed to be some rain in the forecast, but like I don't know, like we don't know at this point, like.
But this is what sucks. We keep saying if it was consistently showing rain, okay, let's act on it. Let's do something. We either push it to next week or we get tents or whatever. But like it literally keeps changing. And so now we don't know what to do. And now we're 3 days away.
Well, by the time this comes out.
2 days away.
Wow. Yeah.
And so it's making us nervous and we keep checking it all the time because we did. Maybe we decided on an engagement party a little bit like later on, otherwise we would have done it in the summer. Mm-hmm. But
but it could rain in the summer.
It could rain in the summer, but also again, just like there's always thought that goes into it. Like he doesn't travel this weekend specifically. Since the season started, he's been traveling a lot, and this one in like particular, this day that we chose, he doesn't have to travel the next day because it's a home game. So that's why we did it at the end of the month.
I guess it could be, but we also didn't want to do it too late because it would be maybe too cold.
It's just getting too cold. So
there's a bunch of different things that go into it. It's like we didn't just randomly choose this day. It's like we wanted this day for several reasons, and of course,
it's the one day on the weather app that's like, oh, sun, rain. Damn
it!
I know.
But it's all gonna work out, and
do you think so?
I do.
I'm scared.
It's gonna work out, and I think it's saying mostly that the rain's gonna be in the morning. We're having it more towards mid-afternoon. So if that holds up, then we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Why are tents so expensive? That's what I want to know.
I mean, I don't know. Because they know people are desperate.
Yeah,
they have events that they're holding. And it's like,
so
you have to get this or you're not going to have your event. That's why.
So annoying.
Smart.
But anyways, that's kind of what we've been up to. That's literally like, we're caught up now.
We're caught up.
And I guess next episode we can tell you guys how our party went.
Update on the
whether or not it got canceled or whether we pushed it to next week. Or if it was great and it was such a fun time.
It's gonna be great, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a fun time. Everyone's gonna love it.
I'm trying to think about it that way because it's like, there's people who like have rain on their wedding days, and like you can't control it. So I'm trying to not let it get to me because it's like you really can't control it.
No, like if that's what happens, that's what. It's not like it's a lot of rain. It's like 0.1 inches or it's 0.2 or it's. I don't think it's even gonna be heavy. What if it's like what it was in Wilmington?
As long as it's in the morning, I don't think that'd be enjoyable to just be outside, though.
No, you're not wrong, but it's not. I don't think it absolutely ruins anything, and we just gotta we can't really do anything about it.
Well, we're there. We're gonna celebrate.
Yep.
And I guess we'll just have to go with whatever happens. But
we'll update you.
We will
the next episode of Couples Coverage. But that's going to do it for episode 36. Caught you up. That's why we haven't been here. It's not the best excuse, but I think you see where we're coming from. We've been a little busy here. But appreciate everyone who's maybe even wondered, hey, does that couple, do they do that podcast, Couples Coverage? We do.
We missed it. I really did miss it.
There were a couple times where we were going to do this and then it just didn't happen. We were like, we got into the office, or like I remember there was one day where I'd set up the camera and had the light there, and then
you had my iPad charging.
I had everything, and then nothing happened. So
you know what, too? I feel like we're just making excuses, but this is genuinely what it is. Also, like, it just gets dark at like 7 or 8. So at that point, I don't know if my body's just adjusting. I'm tired. I'm like, I don't have like the energy that you need to like come on here and be in like, woo, let's record.
I get that, and yeah, it is getting darker, but we're not gonna make those excuses because only from here on out it's gonna be that dark at this time. I feel like we need something to like hold us accountable. Like, what would hold us accountable? Our listeners, our viewers. No, that's who holds us accountable. I feel like that was a real moment. I don't know. Maybe something. But no, like we were gonna have a dedicated day to do this, and we've said that before though. But we didn't. We had all these weddings, and again, making excuses. But we don't have any more weddings anymore. I know the travel schedule for myself. Like, I'm still gonna be going places, but we got you. Okay, Tuesdays are gonna be a record days, except today's Wednesday. So Tuesdays will be if something doesn't come. No, I'm just kidding. No. We can't do any more ifs. Tuesdays. It's gonna be, that's what it is, and that's what it is. You can expect the next episode of Couples Coverage to be recorded on Tuesday to come out Wednesday.
And if you're for some reason not ready, I'm going to do it.
You're going to do a solo podcast?
And if I'm not ready for some reason, you're going to do it.
Wow. All right. We're holding each other accountable. But that's good because we wanted to keep doing these. They're a lot of fun for us. It gives us some quality time to just talk.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was good. This was fun. Good recap, too, of like, dang, we did do all that.
Yeah.
In this past month or whatever it's been. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And if there's anything that you can relate to or want to leave a comment on, please do. We always like seeing what you guys have to say. But that's going to do it for episode 36. I'm Nicholas Moriano, Stephanie Abonce. We are Couples Coverage. We are still here. You can find us on YouTube at Couples Coverage and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Also, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, as well at Couples Coverage. But we will see you next Wednesday. But until next time, adios.
Bye.